Everyone, so today I'll be teaching about the entries. So most of the entries that we have as BTMM are M's and W's. Okay, so these are reversal patterns that happens every day, and when you are able to catch this kind of reversal patterns, this guarantee you good profit and good entries with a very small stop loss. Okay, so let's get started. So the M pattern. So the M pattern has two legs. Okay, so the first leg, then we have the mid of the M, the nadir. So most people will also call it the neck. And then we have the second leg, and then now it moves towards the direction. Okay, so we have the W pattern. Is the opposite of an M, has the first leg, the apex, because it looks like an letter A, and then the second leg, and then it moves like that. So this is the first leg, the midpoint, the top, the apex, and then the second leg. Okay, so we use the 13 EMA in BTMM to give confirmed M's and W. So the Latin EMA has a nickname called ketchup. So those who have watched Steve videos will hear him use the word ketchup. So we have several nicknames for EMAs, like the 50 EMA, we call it the water, and then we have the 200 EMA, we call it the mayo. And then we have the 800 EMA, we call it the blueberry. But for now, we're only going to be concentrating on the 13 EMAs for entries. 13 EMA is our signal line. Okay. So we have three types of M's and also W's, but whatever I'm going to teach you on the M's is the opposite of W. So I've grouped the types based on the probability. The first one has a very high probability of working out. The second one also has a good probability, but not that much. And the third one has the lowest probability. So this is the difference between the three. So the first one, as you can see, this is the first leg. The second leg goes way in below the 13 EMA. Gives you a very good, nice V pattern like this. Okay, so it goes below the 13 EMA well, and then comes back above and then back below. So this is the type 1 of M's. The W is opposite of this, has to go in like this. So the type 2 will only weak the 13 EMA on the nadir. Okay, so this is the W. For the M is the opposite of this. So for the W, the second type will only give you a week. You might see several weeks or just 1 week like this, and then it will go above, then give you back in. So this will be your entry for buys. Okay, type 1 gives you a very nice breakthrough and then break back above. This one just gives you a week. So this is the type 2. This has more probability of winning. If you see this type, just know you have high probability of that trade going your way. This one will also give you a good probability, but not nice as this one. Okay, you might say this has around 90% chance of working out. This one probably around 80. This one will probably around 60. Why? Because most of the time when they give you this and they go below, they most likely going to break above and give you the second leg. If you see this, you are better off just waiting for it to break above and back below again. Okay, so at this level, I don't want you to take this type, the type 3. Only focus on type 1 and type 2. Okay, so notice how they are. You might take some notes or take a screenshot or something like that. You might draw them on a book, so that every time before you take it, make sure you name the type of M or W you are taking. Okay, before entering, make sure you name the type. Okay, so those are the three types of M's and W's in BTMM. So whatever, like this M, the W will be opposite. For the W, the M will be opposite. For this M, the W will just be opposite. The difference is how they interact with the 13 EMA. The first one you see interacts very well with the 13 EMA. The second only touches it on the NEDA, then crosses the other side. This one doesn't touch it at all until the entry gives you. Okay, so checklist for entry. So this is the very first thing you're supposed to do before even considering whether to take a buy or a sell. Okay, the very first step is you have to see 16 candles from the moment the blue box closes, and this is based on the exact times I gave on my previous video. Okay, so the 16 candles will mostly appear, it's the candle that prints around 3:30 a.m. New York time. So you can put an alarm at 3:30 New York a.m. So that's when you are supposed to be seeing the charts. Before that, you should not be looking at the charts. Okay, so just try this probably tomorrow or the other day, and set the alarm at 3:30 New York time. You can convert this based on the country you are or the time zone you are using, but make sure you see 16 candles first from the moment Asia closes. And I'm only talking Asia based on BTMM, not the other things you'll find on Google or whatever. The times I've given, specific times I gave, go watch the other videos back and you'll see the times. So introduction to BTMM, go watch that video and you'll see how I gave the times you should be looking at the market. So first, see 16 candles from the close of Asian box. So from the 16 candles, that's when you should be looking for the first leg or the second leg based on how they give you. After that, is there a visible vector? 3 vectors. Sometimes can you be able to see 3 vectors towards the high or the low? 3 huge candles that are the same color. If it's high, it's 3 green candles. If it's low, it's 3 red candles that are huge. That doesn't look normal. Okay, all are one very huge candle. Can you see a one very huge candle? A spike towards the high or towards the low. Okay, so for M's, before you enter, this is what you are supposed to see. When you come after 16, can you see at the vector? So this is what you should be seeing for M's. Can you see price is above the 13 EMA? It goes below the 13 EMA, then goes back above the 13 EMA, then goes back below the 13 EMA. That's when you click sells. Okay, I'll show this in a chart for better illustration. So for W's, you have to see price below the 13 EMA. The price goes above the 13 EMA. Oh, sorry, the price should be above, then it goes below the 13 EMA. It goes above the 13 EMA, back below the 13 EMA, then goes back above the 13 EMA where you take your entries. Okay, so the other thing you should be able to see on the second leg is a nameable candle pattern, like a railway track, a hammer, a star pattern, any BTMM patterns like these ones. Okay, so you should be able to see this for when you are buying, whether you can see a hammer, a doji, a morning star, evening star, a shooting star. You should be able to see a candle pattern that you can name on the second leg. Okay, so before you enter, we do have several entry strategies. After you have seen all that, you might wait for the shift candle that has to close below the 13 EMA. At this level, I want you to only trade the moment it closes below or above 13 EMA on the second leg. but you have to see all the other things first. Okay, these things I've talked here, you have to see all this. So take these notes first. Make sure you tick every time you take a trade. Tick whether it's an M or a W, you tick these things. Okay, so these are the entries. You can wait for that confirmation below or above. That's what I want to do right now. The second kind of entry is when you wait for a pullback after the shift candle. The shift candle mostly I told you is around 10 to 20 pips. So after the moment it shifts, so you might wait for a small pullback, maybe 38, 50 or 61.8 depending on how big the candle is. Okay, so the other entry is a pro entry. The moment you see on the secondary a nameable candle pattern, you just click sell or buy before it even crosses the 13 EMA. Okay, so when you become a pro, this is what you will be doing. On the second leg, it will be clicking in on. So let me show you what I'm saying. So let's say in this case, you can see this is where I entered. The moment this was the first leg, you can see the three vectors below the 13 EMA, back above the 13 EMA. The moment they give me this nice hammer, I just clicked sell, and you can see the shift candle and the price dripped down. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. After you see a nameable candle pattern, you can just go in. In this case, when they give you the second leg and you see this railway tracks, small railway tracks that looks like dojis, you can just click buy right there, and they give you that shift candle on the correct time. Okay, in such a scenario, if you took this type, you can see they also give you a nameable candle pattern. You have a hammer and which also gives you a railway track. You can click sell. You can also see a doji right there, and then now the shift candle. Okay, so exits, you only exit when your stop loss is hit. It's usually above 25 pips from where you get in, 23 to 25 pips, and we target 50 pips. You also get out with a take profit of 50 pips. Sometimes might also be taken out with break even, but when we come to trade management, I will talk about these exits. Okay, so let's get to charts, and I'll show you on the charts how they look like. Okay, so first of all, you have to see 16 candles. So one, you also include the last candle that closed. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So this is the 16th candle. So this is where you should now be on the market the moment you come on the market. Okay, so you look back. So what do you see? You can see the market went above the 13 EMA, stayed above the 13 EMA, went below the 13 EMA. It went back above the 13 EMA, gave you a nameable candle pattern, which is an evening star. If you are a pro, you can just go in here, but the time is not yet 16 candles, so you would not have entered. You should not be even in the market at this time. So when it shifts back below the 13 EMA, the moment you come at this point, you'll see they give you a hammer. You also enter exactly the same point you'd have entered if you took it here. So I want you to wait for the 16th candle and execute that time. Why? Because from here to the 16th candle is where they trap people. I want you to completely be out of the market. When they are trapping, you don't want you to even bother about it. I want you to come just when they are about to move it. And you can see they dropped it very fast. This range is 50 pips, so if you took it around here, so this is around 30 plus probably that is around 60 pips move, so you got your 50 very easily. Okay, you can see you even didn't stay a lot in the market before you are out. You've come to realize the moment you catch it well, this trade, they move very fast and you're out of the market within 2 to 3 hours. Okay, you don't have to stay for the whole day. Why am I saying this was not crossing below? You can see the line chart, they never actually went below. this where they actually went below nicely, then went back above, back below, then on the right time is when you give you an entry, and now it dropped. Okay, you can see how nicely it went. So this was very nice trade. Let's go to the other one. So in this case, this actually was day 2 Euro JPY. I can remember this trade. So you should be, let's count 16 candles first. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. At this time you should, they passed on you. This was a retro rate entry, but the actual entry was right here above. Sometimes they will leave early, but when they leave early, don't bother chasing it. You can see the trade on another pair, but now this was the actual M. You can see above, back below, back above, then back below. That would be an entry, but it seems like if there was some news here. Even when there's news, they still play along with the BTMM pattern. Even when there's news, they either use news to trap and then give you the BTMM pattern, and then you take the reversal. Okay, like this is a bit complicated one, but it also gave you a nice pattern. This one, they never went above, but if you came at the right time right here, you are able to catch this nice. So 16 candles, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. So you came in the market somewhere right here. When you look back, you can see the market was below, it went above. So that's your first leg, went below the 13 EMA. So you are waiting for a back above the 13 EMA, a nameable candle pattern, and then that's why you should, they give you the nameable and closed below, so you should have entered with the nameable candle pattern sales, and they gave you nice move. At this trade, they gave you probably around 30 pips. So when they are way down here, you should be probably targeting around 30. Okay, so with this one, they gave you around 30 pips. On the right time, they did a reversal. Okay, you can also see on the line chart, they went above, they went back below, they went back above, gave you the nameable candle pattern here, and then crossed below, you entered right there, and they dropped nice. Okay, so these are very nice one. These are brings trade. So 16 candles, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18. So sorry, 16 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. So this, when you came, you can see I had already marked the line here where you entered the market. So you came at this point. Okay, so the market is still above the 13 EMA. This one doesn't count as a cross. You can see the line chart shows you they are actually above. Until this point is when they actually went below. So this was your vector high. Okay, the pushes towards the high. So this was first leg, the high of the day. They went below the 13 EMA, went back above the 13 EMA, and then they stayed there, and then at the right, the New York, that's when they actually went below the 13 EMA. So this is a trade that took the whole of London. This is a pattern that took the whole of London. Sometimes these patterns are multi-session patterns. Sometimes it will just happen here, beginning of London. Sometimes they'll trap the whole London and give you the actual pattern on New York. You can see on the right time they give you a hammer. So this is a brings trade. You are guaranteed it's definitely going to pay you, and you can see they give you very nice move. Okay, with no pain. When you took it after the hammer, there was no drawdown and it just dripped. Okay, so you can see on the line chart, they went below here, they stayed above. This is actually where they actually went below. So that was the actual close below. So second leg, nameable candle pattern. You can see this one is an evening star right there. You also have a hammer on the right time, but this was the actual second leg, nameable candle pattern. You can also take this hammer railway tracks here as the second leg, because this is the one that actually went above. So for a pro, you'd probably have gotten it right here, cells, or at this time cells. But for now, I only want you to wait for actual cross. This one looks like it crossed below, but this is not what you are looking for. You want a very clean cross. You can see the difference between this cross and this one. This one just looks like it's sitting on that when you look on the line, it's just sitting. It has to be a nice cross like this. You can see the actual line chart actually closed. It's a nice cross. So that's what you are waiting for. On the right time spear, you can see sell. So for a W, you can see the market was coming from up going down, so you don't expect a very huge vector. You came around this time where 16 candles end. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. This one you should be arriving in the market. When you come in, you see the market is coming from below, it's going up. So the market was from above, went below, then it went back above. Okay, so went back below and then went back above. You have to see a nameable candle pattern. You can see cord of wood, which is two railway tracks stuck together. Okay, so you would have taken it right there as a pro, but for now wait for the cross above and take it here. You can see even there was news, but it still obeyed. Okay, give you a very nice move to the blue tracer. Okay, so this is almost full ADR. This, I'm sure they give you more than 50 pips. Probably you should have even be taken out by this candle here. Okay, with your TP somewhere in here, 50 pips, and you are out. You can see the line chart how it looks. Goes from above, goes below, above, back below, then back above. You take it and it's gone. Okay, so let's go to the other one. So this one looks a bit different. So this was the one that I was talking about that doesn't actually pay well, but based on the day, we were actually on day 3 buy side. So this was actually where the trade was. Okay, so there was 2 entries here. So this was the actual low. They went above the 13 EMA, they stayed above all this time, went below the 13 EMA. They gave you a nameable candle pattern, okay, which is a morning star. They closed above, but you could also have entered it somewhere around here, it's not late. And you can see they gave you a very nice trade. So I will also show you why you should not be taking the M's and so know when to take the W. So this is based on the weekly template. So the weekly template will tell you which day you are on and avoid this M and take now the W. Okay, so you can see on the wrong time they'll give you a poor M, the one that doesn't perform well, and then they will also now give you the actual W. The W's, don't expect them to be beautiful. M's and W's, sometimes they are very ugly, like this one looks funny, but the 13 EMA is the guide. Okay, so if you follow what I've taught you, you can see here we have the vectors 3 1 2 3 to the low. There are 3 red candles in line giving you the first leg pin to the 200 EMA. So this is a pin to the 200 EMA, first leg above the 13 EMA. This should not confuse you. I already talked about this. You have to see some separation between the legs. Okay, you have to see separation. If there's no separation like this, don't take it here. Wait for them to actually go below again, because they will definitely do. So don't rush it here and take it by here, because they'll come below again. So this was the actual leg, first leg. Second leg ni mabokando pattern. You go in there and they give you good money, you can see. So this was your first leg, then the second leg, and they moved up. Okay, so this is another entry here. This was a beautiful one. So you have to wait for your 16 candles somewhere in here. So when you came in the market, you saw the market gave you first leg above Asia, went below the 13 EMA, back above the 13 EMA, nameable candle pattern. They give you a doji there, so you can call this an evening star. Okay, you can also take it right there, sells, or wait for a cross that actually crossed in here. So you'd have gone enter right there, okay, and wait for it to drop. It actually dropped nicely. You can see the line chart above the 13 EMA, below the 13 EMA, back above the 13 EMA, mobile candle pattern. On the right time, you can see the blue line shows you the candle, the 3:45 a.m. New York time candle that give you a hammer, and you would have gone sells. Okay, but wait for a cross for you to have a confirmed sells. Okay, let's continue. So this is actually the trade that we took yesterday on Monday. You can see it was 20th July 2026. This is what happened. The right time, they gave us vector 3, 1, 2, 3 to the high. They gave us our first leg. Don't get confused by this back above, back below. I told you have to see some separation in here. Okay, so this is just a trap for them to come get your stop loss right here. So you actually wait for this to go below, nice cross below. You wait for them to give you back above. You can see some separation in here. They give you a railway track, but wait for a cross below. You can see they give you a very beautiful hammer. The moment I saw that hammer, you can see I executed my sales right there. This is my sell. I pressed sell right there, and the market dropped. So this was the actual entry right now, the back below. You wait for it to go below, you execute sell here. It's not much PP in here. Okay, and your stop can go just above here, the high of this, just above there, and drop. Okay, the line chart looks something nice. This is what I'm saying. There's no actual separation here. You wait for a good separation like here and this one. You can see that separation. That's a beautiful separation. So this was the perfect BTMM M. Okay, so I want you to make sure you come at 16 candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so when the moment you see the vector, you know that's your first leg. Don't get confused by this thing. Think this is your first leg, and then this is your second leg. Okay, when you see the 3 vectors, know that exactly that's your first leg. This was just a trap. So this was your actually first leg. You have the high of the day, and then now you wait for below, back above, back below. They will take their time in here because they want to trap people buys. Remember, there are people who use support and resistance. When they saw this go up, they waited for the market to come here. You can see the dealer trapped those people because he gave them exactly what they wanted. If you draw a box here, you think this is a support. Okay, and think to go buys. For BTMM, you only sell when it's above Asia and buy below Asia. Never buy above Asia, ever. Never buy above Asia. Always buy below Asia and sell above Asia. So don't get confused by this and think this is a W. No, you have your vector here on the right time. Now you see your M pattern and you go sells. Okay, if you have any questions, make sure you ask me on the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe. Okay, So we have another one kind of here. So this was a late one. I think this was an ID 50 trade. This what happens on day one. So you came here, I don't think back here there wasn't a pattern, that's why I cropped it. So this was your actual first leg, below the 13 EMA, back above the 13 EMA nimble candle pattern that gave you the cross below, and you entered sales here, and you can see they dropped nicely to this point. Okay, if you still held it, they also came back down there. Okay, so make sure you master the above, below, back, above, back, below. When you enter here, your stop loss is just above the highest point there, and most of the time they will never even bother going back above there because they have a lot of people who are trapped. Okay, so here we have another one. This is not actually GU, this was NZDD. It gave us 3 hits to the high. Sometimes they'll give you the 3 hits. Okay, so if you came at the right time, you saw above the 13 EMA, below the 13 EMA, back above nimble candle pattern, you took your sell here as a pro. But now wait for the cross and take your sell here. When they come the third time, don't panic because they should not hit your stop loss. And if they touched your stop loss with the spread here, they give you a second entry here. You might wait for a cross below and take your sell there, or wait for the right time, which they actually give you another entry. Okay, and they gave you a hammer on the right time. This was 9:45 New York time, and you can see 3:45 they gave you a railway track, 9:45 they gave you a hammer. So you'd have taken any of these 3 entries was nice. And if you notice something, they are running away from here. They went, this one didn't actually went above there, this one didn't go above, so they ran and dropped. Okay, so that's the end of it. That's the end of it. So make sure you watch my next video. I'll be talking about how to do the homeworks. I'll show you how to actually mark these charts before you actually take a trade. Okay, so those are the entries. If you have any question, make sure you write on the comment section. I'll actually reply you or do another video to illustrate any issue you might have. So thank you so much. So see you on my next video. Bye bye.